Hey, how you doing? I've got some hacks I want to share with you today, and it's basically on the subject of accepting criticisms, knowing what to do with them, knowing if they come from the right place, knowing if people have the right intentions. What do I do when people criticize me? Sometimes we are criticized, and we often will start to we'll second guess ourselves as far as our judgments. We'll turn on ourselves and think that maybe we don't make the right decisions. We can have a number of different reactions when somebody criticizes us. And sometimes we don't handle that so well. So what I want to do is discuss with you a couple of hacks, or a hack that you can use to find out if the criticism that you're receiving is something that is justified, or is it something that I should just kick to the curb. So is this criticism that I receive justified? Well, how do we figure that out? How do we know if it's a justified criticism or not? Well, one of the first things that I'd like to say is we always want to, you heard the old saying, we want to question the source. When I say question the source, we want to ask ourselves the question, is this person that comes to mind, or that has been criticizing me, or that comes to me with this criticism, do they always have criticisms, or do they actually pour positive value into my life besides me having envy or respect, or really just liking something that they do, or liking the car that they drive, or liking how they're married and successful and these type of things? What outside of criticisms have they poured into the relationship for me? Often people who only have things to say negatively to us are people that we want to really think hard about whether or not we're going to accept their criticisms. But I have a pathway more specifically for us to determine which action to take. So there's a couple of steps. So let's think of some criticisms that might be common. There's a few criticisms that I have here. So here's one. I think it's a mistake for you to marry that man or woman. There's a criticism. You can feel a little judged. You feel like you don't know me, you don't know him. How do you know that this is not a good man, or how do you know this is not a good woman? You don't know me. But then at the end of the day, we may go home and question, like, is this positive? So another criticism. You need to act like a real man and stop being a mama's boy. How about that? You need to act like a real man, stop being a mama's boy up in here, for real. Okay, that's a criticism. How do we take that? Okay, I got one more. You know what? You're just not submissive enough. You just always yapping. You're just not submissive enough, okay? So some criticisms are meant for us to evaluate, make changes, and then some criticisms we have to leave at the door. Out of these that I just mentioned, you have to determine for yourself where you want to take that. But here's a couple of hacks I want you to use and to consider when someone comes with a criticism. The first question after that other question that you want to ask is, do they truly care? Now, is this a person that's been in your life that has been supportive of you? Have they come to you with things, again, that have been helpful? Do they support you when you're actually doing good, and they say, I'm proud of you, and they genuinely seem sincere about your accomplishments, about you doing well? Or are they always criticizing? So the first question that you need to ask is, do they truly care about me? Because if they don't truly care about me, what am I listening to this for? What am I questioning myself about this for? So that's the first thing. Second thing, do they have my best interest in mind? Now, sometimes we can get a little hated on if we have that man or we have that woman and another person doesn't have it. You know what I'm saying? We often notice that sometimes I'm feeling a little funny, sending something to your inbox or to your text, or calling you and telling you something about my successes, because I just feel uneasy. Like maybe you have something negative to say, and maybe you're not just most happy for me. And then I can make all kind of excuses in my mind as to why you respond the way you do. But you're the one coming at me with a criticism. So today, you're criticizing me, so I need to ask myself the question, do you really have my best interest in what you're saying? When you just came to me with that, do you have my best interest when you're telling me that act like a real man. You're having my best interest. When you tell me that the person that I'm in love with, I shouldn't marry. Do you have my best interest? Are you married? So we got to ask ourselves these kind of questions, right? Okay, the third question I want you to ask, boom, this is a good one. This is whether it's affirmative on the first question, the second question, or whatever. You want to ask yourself, could this person possibly be misdirected? Why is it that I feel that they have all the answers to everything and I know nothing? You see what I'm saying? Could they possibly be a little bit off on this? I mean, like, am I really a mama's boy? Or another question is, why am I offended by that? But, anyway, we don't want to talk to each other like that in relationships. Anyway, I'm digressing. So the thing is that we want to ask ourselves the question, could they possibly be misdirected? Because sometimes even when people have positive things that they're trying to interject to us, sometimes they're just a little bit misdirected as far as how they're trying to advise us. I think it's something in the Bible that says, about consulting more than one, a council of people. So sometimes we may not want to just rely on ourselves or rely on that one go-to person. We may want to explore other people's opinions as well, and then ask ourselves the question, could they be misdirected? And then the last question that I want you to ask yourself, at the end of the day, you want to know why. Why? If they're misdirected, why? Could they possibly be misdirected as far as the thinking that you're not submissive enough? Why? Why would they not be correct about that? Because often the first thing for us to do is process all the reasons why they're right. And we have ourselves, at the end of the deal, we're having ourselves at fault for everything. We want to stop automatically rushing to judgment that just because somebody has something negative to say about me, that it's always me. I want to start there as far as considering it, but we want to evaluate the possibilities that maybe this person could be wrong as well. And if they were wrong, why? Okay, so we just want to do these things. I think that if you use these things, the following things that I've just mentioned, when you get a criticism, you'll come out on the better end of the stick. You won't be as doubting. You will learn how to, if somebody doesn't have something good to say, to tell them peace. Give them the peace sign. But the things that we want to do, I don't want to go too long on this, is find out, do they truly care? Do they have my best interest in mind? And could they possibly be misdirected, and why? Do this, and I promise you that you will start taking criticisms more differently. You will start having a buildup of confidence in yourself and relying on your own decisions and judgments, and you'll be headed to more intimate relationships the way that you want them. I'm Troy Wise with Aspire Counseling and Consulting Services. Holla at me. Bye.